Good day, awesome YouTubers. It is Layman16 here again for another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. And today, in preparation for the Universal Survival Arc, we will be covering all the 12 Gods of Destruction from start to finish. And I'm going to be going into their roles, their personalities, their character traits, and their overall abilities and overall impact on the Dragon Ball Super story and the Dragon Ball story in, the whole franchise overall. I'll be covering them in order that they were formally introduced, and also we will not be covering any of the video games like Xenoverse or Xenoverse 2 or any of that good stuff. I want to keep this strictly to the story, obviously created and managed by Toriyama and Toei. So let's get right into this. We have our second God of Destruction today. His name is Champa, the God of Destruction of Universe 6, and he is the twin brother of Beerus, and he is the other link to Universe 7. His name is a pun on an alcoholic beverage, champagne, which, again, the name Champa and champagne are synonymous. Champa's personality is somewhat similar to Beerus, but in other ways it's very different. He is a god of destruction who likes food and is lazy just like Beerus, but also kind of like Beerus, but it's not really to more of a general extent. It's a little bit more specific than that. He is a sore loser, and he's more so a sore loser than Lord Beerus. He prefers to cheat or otherwise, to do anything to win, and he'll destroy anyone who gets in his way. But like Beerus, he doesn't like to admit that someone is better than him, even when it's, fighting over stuff like a meal. But sometimes Champa will screw people over. But, ultimately, I think he really does care a lot for Beerus and, maybe the other gods of destruction, because technically we have not seen his, you know, interactions with the other Hakaishin yet. So like I discussed in the previous God of Destruction video, Beerus, which I will link down below, nothing is no really. I gotta tell you guys, not much is known about the sibling backstory between Beerus and Champa. We still don't really know how they were formed or how essentially they were born, I guess you could say. I'm not even sure if Gods of Destruction are born. We know for a fact that Shinjin, or the Kaioshin, the Supreme Kais and the regular Kais from all the north, south, east, and west quadrants of the seventh universe came from the Shinjin tree, but the Gods of Destruction we are not very sure about. Going back to the whole sibling backstory, Beerus and Champa again don't have much, in terms of the backstory, but we do know from the manga they had that whole birthday scuffle thing, quite a long time ago. Um, Again, this should be noted that this whole birthday incident led to Beerus and Champa not ever clashing, with combat abilities. Whenever they clash, it's usually a matter of, meals. They always fight it out over meals, so that both the gods, excuse me, not only the Universe 6 but also Universe 7 are not both destroyed in the process. In terms of his physique, it's been hinted that Champa is better in terms of build quality and overall athleticism, I guess you could say. It was pretty much hinted that he had a much better body, quote unquote, before episode 28. Um, because in episode 28, Vados alluded to Goku and Vegeta both that Beerus is stronger than Champa based on his build, and that he was once healthier, but over the years he got fat because he's often neglected Vados's diet. Going on to some of the impacts and more stuff relating to the story that Champa did. Champa's been really only prevalent since the Universe 6 arc, but I gotta tell you guys that the first appearance from Champa was actually early on in the story. It was actually in the Resurrection F arc. He did not show up at all in the movie. I don't even think he was even created before the Resurrection F movie. I'm pretty sure unless there's guidebooks or data books or something that says otherwise, Champa was not created by Toriyama's hand before the Resurrection F movie. But he was present in the Resurrection F arc just for a little bit when he was searching for the Super Dragon Balls. Currently, as of this recording, Champa has been collecting some of the Super Dragon Balls again for the Universe Survival arc. I have a picture of the eye catch um, there on the screen if you guys see that somewhere. But essentially, Champa is playing, I guess, somewhat of a role. I kind of doubt that he'll have a huge role in this arc because it's all about, introducing the other 12 gods of destruction, their respective universes, and their respective fighters. So I don't think Champa's going to have a big role in this arc because we already had one from him in the Universe 6/Champa arc because it was named after him. Anyway, moving on to some interesting things about Champa. Champa, like all the other gods of destruction, he has a life link. Okay, he has a life link with the Universe 6 Kaioshin, which is currently unnamed, and he also has a link with Vados. So again, just like Beerus and Whis, if Champa were to die somehow, or yeah, I guess it's die. I don't think it's being unconscious or whatever. But anyway, if he dies, then Vados becomes inactive until the next Hakaishin is, appointed. Now, whether or not how they're appointed, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Hakaishin are appointed by either the Grand Priest, Daishinkan, or the Zeno-sama, the Omni King, or in this case, uh, dual Omni Kings, because there are now two Omni Kings, the present Omni King and the future Omni King, as you guys may know in the Dragon Ball storyline so far. In terms of Champa's abilities, well, we don't really know. It's hinted at in the Universe 6 arc that Champa was still way above Hit and Kaba and everything else. Probably the best line that Champa had in that arc is when he told the fighters that he'll destroy them all, no matter if it's Suba Saiyajin Tai Toki Tobashi. And let me translate for you. Basically, what that means is it doesn't matter if you have Super Saiyan, Time Skip, Lava, durability factor, poison. Nothing matters to the God of Destruction. I mean, that's a epic line for me, and he's going to show them all how scary a God of Destruction really can be. Now, Champa does possess God Key, and because he is the twin of Beerus, he has lived also for hundreds of millions of years, and so he has a lot of combat experience with that. The only thing is he can't really run very far, but he can fly and he can shoot key blasts and the basic key blasts and stuff. Um, he has this really cool ability where he can shout really loudly and a pretty big shockwave emits from his mouth. So it's a pretty interesting ability there. But other than that, yeah, he really doesn't have any special techniques that we've seen. I mean, with Beerus, we've seen stuff like like that atomic bomb type key blast that can wipe out a planet with ease. From Beerus, we've seen that awesome move where he puts his hands on an opponent and basically his key explodes onto them, so they get knocked around all kinds of places. But it's going to be interesting to see what other abilities Champa has. So let me know in the comments below what you think about how many techniques Champa has, and let me know how strong do you think Champa really is. I mean, it's hinted at again in the Universe 6 arc he was going to destroy everyone, regardless of who they were. Um, but in the episodes 71 and 72, that mini hit arc, it was implied that, I mean, this is to do with more of Champa's personality, but it's kind of hinted at that Champa, he, he doesn't really know about Hit's abilities, and he's kind of in the ignorant side of things, and he doesn't really know much. But what can you expect? I mean, it's Champa, guys. I mean, you guys all know about him. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover with this God of Destruction. Next up, I'm going to be covering probably Sidora, um, or Cider, I guess, in the English dub. If they ever, or when they dub it, I guess, if you can say, it's going to be, probably going to be Cider. But that's the God of Destruction who we're going to cover next, and his Kaioshin role. So be on the lookout for that. I probably won't make that video until later on. But again, let me know in the comments what you think about Champa. How exactly do you think he's going to fare up in this tournament? And also let me know what you guys think of what his backstory with Beerus is going to be if we ever get it, and how he's going to interact with all the other gods of destruction. That's what I got for you guys. Excuse me, not guys today. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you got some insight on Champa. So that's all, folks. Stay awesome, everybody, and have a good one.